Hello everyone, I am back after such a long break, and during that break, you amazing people got me to 60k subs, and so to celebrate that, I wanted to say thank you by drawing some of your characters for this video. And I'll also be doing a giveaway for an XPPen drawing tablet in the sponsored segment, so stay tuned for that so you know how to enter the giveaway. So for this video, I got to try out the second generation of the XPPen Artist Pro 14. So this tablet is special because it's one of the first to use the X3 Pro stylus, which has 16K pen pressure sensitivities. It also comes with a remote control for shortcuts that can be connected through Bluetooth or USB cable. It came with a very nice looking pen case that of course has the X3 Pro stylus. The pen also has an eraser, and they give you 8 extra pen nibs, half of which are supposed to give you a paper-like feel, and I got to try that out too. And the nib changer is really easy to use. The tablet itself also has a built-in stand. Although it only has one angle, I think it's just pretty nice to have it built in because it's one less thing that you have to worry about with having a stand. And XPPen also gave me this cute patterned glove that has a cat on it that I'll be using while I draw. So the first time I tried out the pen pressure, it honestly felt very smooth, and when you use the eraser, it automatically switches to whatever eraser brush you're using on your program. But me personally, I don't use the eraser brush, I use the transparency tool, so I won't really be using it that much, but it is nice to have. I didn't find anything wrong with it, and I didn't even have to adjust the sensitivity because with most tablets I do. There's also no like weird tilt sensitivity that I noticed. So after trying this tablet literally all day, I didn't really feel any heat problems with it, and I also used it as a second monitor whenever I wasn't drawing, and still no heat problems. I think I'm definitely going to be using this tablet as my main one for a while, since I actually prefer medium-sized tablet because they're just easier to move around my desk when I switch from drawing to not drawing. And it's also just really refreshing to use one that has a clear resolution with a matte screen protector, because the Artisol tablet that I used to use before this, it just gets all fuzzy with the resolution because of the screen protector. So if you're interested in getting this tablet, there is a link in the description, but I will warn you beforehand to make sure that your PC or laptop supports video through USB-C, because if it doesn't and you only have an HDMI plug-in, you might have to purchase the 3-in-1 cable. So just keep that in mind when you buy this tablet. So let's finally get to the part that everyone is here for, which is the giveaway. So the prize for the giveaway is XPPen's Deco Pro 2nd generation. It is a pen tablet, not a screen tablet, but it does use the same stylus that has the 16K pen pressure sensitivity. Now, to join the giveaway, all you have to do is tell me in the comments what you like to do for self-care, because self-care is important. When you take a break from work, school, or just, stressful things in general, I want to know what is it that you do to relax yourself. In addition, also follow XPPen USA on Instagram and include your own Instagram handle in your comment so that I have a way to contact you if you do win. And honestly, I'm pretty excited to read what you guys do. And I'll be picking the winner in a week or so from the comments, so have fun with that, everyone. So once again, thank you XPPen for sponsoring this video. So for this video, I actually drew 4 characters, as you can see, and most of them are sketches, but I'm going to be showing the one that I colored first, even though I drew it last, but I just thought it would be more interesting to see it in the beginning of the video. And I know like a lot of you guys don't watch and you just listen, and there's nothing wrong with that, but I think this is just eye candy for the people who watch, so I hope you enjoy seeing that first. Anyway, I was like really struggling to draw poses. Even while I was editing this, I was just like so annoyed at myself for being so hesitant when drawing. Like I would just sit there and have like a malfunction and just like not do anything with my hands for like a few like seconds, and I want to like edit all of them out, but there's just too many, and it just like makes me realize that I really do need to crack open that figure drawing book that I bought 5 years ago. and like actually learn a thing or two, because I'm not super comfortable drawing full bodies, even though I should be, because I've been drawing for a really long time. Anyway, I wanted to draw a pose that was actually dynamic, like foreshortened, but then I suck at foreshortening because I don't practice, and so like I gave up on the foreshortened poses. And then finally, after like looking all over Pinterest for a pose, I finally landed on one that I was able to like draw in a way that I was satisfied with, and it didn't like look weird to my eyes. So this character that I'm drawing is Siropeart's character named Morgan. Siropeart is another artist that I have been following on Instagram for a little bit, after they tagged me in one of their pieces that they drew using my everything brush, and I loved it so much and I gave them a follow, and I've been really enjoying seeing their art on my Instagram feed lately. So this character Morgan, Shiro describes her as a grumpy demon who's always tired and loves to eat instant ramen, and I just love that so much, and I really enjoyed drawing this character. I made a community post a while back that has a form where you could submit your characters for me to draw in the future, and you could still do that, by the way, because I'm gonna be making more of these videos hopefully, and so it's not too late to submit your character if you haven't already. And there was like 100 submissions, 108 to be exact, that I looked through, and as I was looking through all of them, I saw Morgan and I immediately knew that this was a character I wanted to color, because I wanted to color at least one of these drawings. Oh my goodness, I'm like watching this video, and can we just all ignore how terrible that face look? It looks kind of creepy in the sketch. Ugh. Okay, don't worry, it gets better. You know, like when you're drawing a character and you just feel like you're really vibing with it. You're like, oh my god, I'm fully vibing with this character. Well, that's how I felt drawing Morgan, and I know, like, yeah, the face looks weird, and you're like, how could you vibe with this character if the face looks weird? But it gets better, you know, and I really enjoyed drawing this character so much. I did most of this in one sitting, and you know, I could do a lot to an artist, but surprisingly, I enjoyed like all of it, because all the characters that I drew were really fun to draw, and I ended on a strong note because I drew this last. And when I first started recording for this video, I actually drew another full body character that was fully colored too. But when I finished drawing that, I realized that the style that I drew it in didn't really match the style that I was going for with this illustration. And the full body is right here. That character is, I think, named Maxim by another viewer named Coco. And I love the colors on it, so that's why I wanted to color it, but unfortunately it's not going to be part of this video or illustration because it just didn't match it. But I do still have the footage of me drawing that, so I might turn it into a Patreon exclusive if I ever decide to edit down that footage, and maybe I'll even do a voiceover for it. So going back to like the style that I was going for with this illustration, I was honestly just inspired by Spider-Verse and just the overall style of the movies. And I was also inspired by seeing like Miles' sketchbook, because you know, Miles is an artist also, and so I wanted to try a sketchbook page type of vibe like that. Like, you know, when other artists have like really nice looking sketchbooks where it does also look messy, but at the same time it just looks so cool and an organized chaos kind of, and I wanted something like that for this video, and I hope you guys feel like I nailed it. I mean, I feel like I did a pretty good job. Obviously things can always be better in anything, but I'm pretty satisfied with the way this turned out. So like, as for why I took a really long break, I know I've done this like twice already before, and the first time that I did it, it was finals week of my first semester here at my new college, and after that I got sick. I got COVID and so my voice was not in a talking like state, you know, that's why I didn't do videos. And then my second break, honestly, I think I was just feeling stressed or lazy, and I just forgot about YouTube. But this time it is also because finals week happened, because you know, like semesters, there's 2 semesters in a school year, and this was my second semester's finals week, and it was a lot more hectic than last semester because I was in 2 animation classes. One of them was intro to animation, where I had to do, I think, like a minute-long animation. And luckily my professor is a bit laid back, and so she didn't require it to look super clean, and we were allowed to just animate something very messy. It didn't even need to be colored. And I got to animate this historical romance type of thing where a wallflower, no one's dancing with her, and then this guy comes in and asks her to dance, and then they dance together. And I'm a bit hesitant. I'm holding off on showing that because I feel like I should clean it up a bit before showing it, so you guys aren't gonna see that yet. But my other animation, it's very simple, just like cloth animations and then a camera movement in my 3D modeling class, my Maya class, where we were supposed to make a room, and I made a kitchen. And that one's actually not too bad, so I might show that on the screen, but don't hold me on that because I always forget these things. And so, like, you know, finals happened. I had to write like a few research papers, and it was just really stressful. And you know, I think we all know how stressful finals week can be. So when that was over and done with, and it was like summer, I honestly just wanted to enjoy not having obligations, and I just wanted to, you know, dwell in my freedom of not having homework, not having anyone tell me what to do. And so I was enjoying my free time during that break, and it did a lot of good things for my mental health, because, you know, like, self-care is very good. Everyone, you know, please take care of yourselves, dabble in a little bit of self-care, or maybe not a little bit, dabble in a lot of self-care, because self-care is good. I read a lot of books, and I got to sketching a lot and drawing just the things that I wanted to draw, which, you know, you could see on Patreon for just $1. Yes, self-advertisement. And it was just also really nice to be able to sit down and draw whenever I wanted, like, without having to worry about having to set up my phone to like record footage. Because recording footage, you all know how bad I am sometimes with it. Like, I forget to record and stuff, or I lose the footage. Sometimes I really do view it as a chore, if I'm gonna be completely honest. There's almost like a stage fright type of thing that happens when I'm drawing while recording, and I think, you know, if you've ever recorded yourself while drawing, you probably know how that feels, because it just feels like someone's watching you. Like, you start to feel very self-conscious of the fact that people are gonna see this, and you're just like, at least me, I become very hyper aware of like my bad habits that I do when I draw. I think to myself, I probably shouldn't move the canvas so much so it's not like jarring for people who are watching, or I probably shouldn't zoom in and zoom out like so, you know, suddenly, because I do that a lot. And it was just nice to not have to worry about it. And so these breaks are doing a lot for me, even though they are not doing good stuff for my channel. But, you know, content creators need breaks. And honestly, artists in general need breaks. Like, I had some trouble where my hand was sore for like 3 days. And I'm not completely sure if it's because of drawing, but the day it got sore, I was on my iPad literally just drawing for like 5 hours. But I also baked bread and kneaded bread, so it might be because of that. But it just, like, it started worrying me, and so I had to take a break from drawing also, because I didn't want to hurt my hand any more than it was. And so, you know, you need to take care of yourself. You need to take care of your hands, because those are your tools for making your craft. And I just rambled and rambled on, and I don't even know what I'm supposed to be talking about anymore. Oh yeah, okay, so this character is Obius Cartoonish on Twitter's character, or Lady for short. This character is named Dahlia, and apparently Dahlia is a mother figure to a bunch of misfits in a post-alien invasion version of the show Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And wow, what an amazing concept, right? Liddy says that she gives mafia boss energy and she wears these sunglasses. I was like looking for a photo reference of like someone, I don't know, touching, interacting with the glasses in some type of way. So I wanted to make her look cool. But the thing is, when I drew her looking like with white features. And then I realized when I look back on the references of the character that she is not a white person. She's not supposed to have white features. So I'm not showing that footage of me first drawing her, but I'm just going to show me lining over it and trying to kind of correct some of those features. I tried to widen her nose a little bit. Also, her lips were too thin compared to the reference. So here's me trying to correct all that. And I hope Liddy likes how this turned out. And she was actually one of the first that I drew, and I was still trying to figure out the style that I was trying to do with this illustration. So in the beginning, when you saw like the actual sketch of it with the gradient map over it, the style wasn't so Spider-Verse, right? And so I had to go back and kind of line over it. Aside from having to correct her facial features, I also wanted to correct the style that I drew her in. And since you're not going to see a lot of like the overall process of this, and it's just going to be me lining it, I guess I'll talk about like the stuff that I struggled with. So definitely I struggled with the hand. I always struggle with hands. I mean, I've gotten better with it over the years, but this hand in particular, like these angles where you can kind of see like the lines of the knuckles and stuff, I tend to struggle with that because I don't know how to draw it in a way where it doesn't look weird, where it's just like the lines, and you can tell like the fingers look weird at first. And I feel like the finger, like the index finger, is a bit too long. It also kind of looks weird, but I was just trying to be a little stylistic with it. I was looking at my hand the entire time in the mirror, trying to mimic the pose. And once again, like this is where I would have done a lot better if I practiced drawing hands, but I just really don't. I mean, like we all ignore the fundamentals, right? Like no one wants to study. No one wants to just sit down and push yourself to learn. It's kind of boring, let's be real. Like, why would I practice drawing a bunch of hands if I could just sit down and draw like pretty girls like how I want to, you know? Like, but really, you know, we should sometimes at least take the time to practice, or at least warm up a little bit, because I don't think I warmed up before starting to record, which I really should do. I need to be like a lot more stricter with myself when it comes to warm-ups, because I hate like editing these videos and then seeing how hesitant I am with drawing. But if I was warmed up, I wouldn't be so hesitant. So I should really warm up a lot. So that's why warm-ups are important. I mean, this is why in drawing class, you warm up for like 5 or 10 minutes before actually starting to draw in the class. At least that's how it was in the art classes that I was in. Also, surprisingly, I didn't struggle too much with drawing the glasses, the sunglasses. And I've gotten better at drawing ears. I saw this trick one time on Instagram on how to draw an ear. Like you draw a circle and then a heart. I would link it, but I honestly don't know how to find it. There's so many posts that I've saved on Instagram, but you draw like a circle and then a heart, and then you change some of the lines and stuff. And so like sometimes I keep that in my head. I don't exactly use that trick, but it's helped me understand where some of the lines go in relation to each other when it comes to drawing ears. But I also always have to pull up a reference of how an ear actually looks anytime I draw an ear. And I know like I could literally just look at my ear since I have a gigantic mirror next to me, but it's hard to look at your own ear, you know, because you'd be looking at it from the side and stuff. Yeah, I'm just like getting off topic now, but so this third character here that I am drawing is owned by hqxfi. I know, but that's the name that they put in. This character's name is Blaine. He has him, he, him pronouns, and the viewer describes him as a happy party boy. But for some reason, even though he's literally described as a happy party boy and he's happy in all of his reference pictures, I decided not to draw him smiling for some reason, at least not with a huge smile. I guess he's kind of smiling, but it's not that big. I feel like I kind of messed up in that regard, but I wanted to challenge myself by also drawing a masculine character in this, so it's not all just feminine characters. And so I chose Blaine. And Blaine was honestly really fun to draw. I was excited to tackle the hair because it's not often that I draw masculine black hair. I've done it one time during a commission, and I told the commissioner specifically after I accepted, I said, I'm very new to this, so please tell me if I do anything wrong, because it was like an afro mohawk. I'm not sure if that's like what it's actually called, but when I first finished it and I sent it to that commissioner, they said it looked really great, but the way I drew the hair, it looked more like a top afro, but it was supposed to look like a mohawk. And so they told me what I needed to do to like kind of make it look more like a mohawk, and I was able to like better change the hairline, the shape of the hairline, because I tend to struggle with that with masculine characters too. So that was like the first time I drew masculine black hair, and this one, it's just, you know, like a top knot type thing, but with a blonde streak in it. So that was really fun. I was tempted to use some of the brushes that I got from Dahlia, but they just didn't really match like what the style that I was going for, so I decided to just hand draw it. And I was kind of surprised with myself too, because I actually didn't really struggle that much to draw the masculine features. I think I've been getting better at drawing masculine characters and men in general. I have been practicing a little bit. I've been trying to, like, you know, draw them here and there. And I guess, you know, practice does make you better, because I've been getting better. I'm not that scared of drawing men or masculine characters anymore, which I'm pretty happy with, because, you know, I gotta draw, because, you know, I can't just draw feminine girls all the time, right? I also wanted to talk about the brush that I was using in this video, because it's actually the first time I'm using this brush. It's called Mameo. I found it on XPPen Assets. I'll try to link it in the description if I could find the actual download to it. But I was just kind of feeling unsatisfied with like the pencil brushes I had, because I do still like them, but it wasn't giving the effect that I wanted. Because there's like this brush on Procreate, like the HB pencil brush on Procreate, that I really like the feel of, but I haven't really found a brush that kind of feels like that. And so this Mameo brush, it actually doesn't have a lot of, what do you call it, size variation. Like, it doesn't taper at the end, it kind of just stays the same size throughout, or it's very like minimal, and I kind of like the feel of that, but I actually don't really like how it looks when you actually like zoom in. So I'm gonna have to like maybe tweak it a little bit to match the texture that I want, but the feel of it is really, really nice. For some reason, lately I've felt like I draw a lot better when I work with brushes that don't have a lot of variation in the size. And my everything brush has a lot of variation in size. Like, it can get really small if you don't press hard enough, and it can get really big if you do press hard enough. So I might make like a version 2 of the everything brush that has like less size variation, maybe some opacity in there, because the current one stays the same opacity. It doesn't really change, because I actually don't really like to work with low opacity brushes, but maybe I should. So I will look into that, and if I do, I'll talk about it in a video. So this last character that I'm drawing is by Nessie, or Ness, aka 3zkana on Instagram and Tumblr. This character is named Rena. She says that she can't decide yet how to pronounce it. This character is described to be spoiled, but still lovable and sweet, and falls in love easily and loves dessert. So very like kind of bubbly character, you know, so I wanted to draw her smiling. And this, I think because I was so like warmed up because it was the last one that I was drawing. Well, not actually fully the last one because it's right before the full body, but it was the smoothest one so far. There wasn't a lot of backtracking when it came to the sketch, and it took me maybe 25 minutes tops to like draw it and finish it. So I guess you can say I really vibed with the character, although I do feel like it definitely took on a much more stylized look to it, like with the facial structure compared to the other ones who are leaning more towards semi-realism, especially Blaine. Because I've noticed that when I draw men or masculine characters, I just lean more towards semi-realism because I still have to use real life photos of men or masculine characters as a reference when drawing them. And so because I'm looking at a real person, it makes me draw the characters in a more realistic manner, which I need to work on because I want my art to be stylized instead of semi-realism. And that is it, guys, for this video. I feel like I'm starting to lose my voice because I haven't talked for this long in a while during my entire break, but I hope you've all enjoyed watching this, and I hope you like how this illustration turned out. If you were one of the people whose characters I drew, I will be emailing you the HD versions of all these files, and I hope you enjoy them. And I look forward to drawing more of your guys' characters, so please, if you haven't submitted your character yet, go to my community tab and scroll until you see my 6K post where I have the form linked. I mean, I could just link it in the description, so maybe it'll be there too. But once again, I always forget to put the link, so if it's not there, don't get mad at me. All right, but yeah, thank you for watching. Again, if you want to join the giveaway for the XPPen Deco, comment below what you do for your self-care. So do you watch movies? Do you draw? Do you, like play video games? What do you do for self-care? I would love to know. So, and also follow XPPen USA on Instagram and include your own Instagram handle in your comment so that I can contact you if you do win. Enter the giveaway by doing that, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.